Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. My camera is askew. Anyway, the sources of this information come from the smart device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Eozander, and today I am joined by, in the live studio audience, we have Xanathos and Lolykins. Anyway, today is Odin's Day, also known as Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. So let's jump on into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 602, Byzantine Senate elected army officer Phocas emperor in a mutiny against the reigning emperor Maurice, who was then killed. Oh, they killed Maurice? Oh, that's not something to whistle about. Anyway, jumping on up into the year 800, Charlemagne arrived in Rome to investigate the alleged crimes of Pope Leo III. Oh, here we go. So, I see we have been joined by the Will. Welcome to the show, Mr. Will.
Thank you.
Yes. Moving on up here to 1248, conquest of Seville by Christian troops under King Ferdinand III of Castile after the city capitulated. Alright. Then we got an execution here in 1499, and Will, if you would like to read any articles, just speak up. So, 1499, Flemish pretender to the English throne, Perkin Warbeck, was hanged for reportedly attempting to escape from the Tower of London. Invaded England in 1497, claiming to be the lost son of Edward IV. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of wild, wacky stuff was happening back in those days. Like, there's actually a theory that Jack the Ripper was a hired assassin to go and just kill prostitutes because a member of the royal family did the deed with a lady of the evening, and they did not want an illegitimate child, so they just started murdering people. So yeah. Moving on up into 1556, King Philip II conferred with Dutch financial experts. Alright. I still want his hat. It looks like he's wearing a felt thimble. Right there. Then we got historic publication in 1644, Areopagitia, a pamphlet by John Milton decrying censorship, was published. Decrying. What is decrying? Decrying. Like decrying. Publicly denounce. Okay, yeah, so publicly denouncing censorship. Good. It was published, so, yeah. But that brings up, so, someone going to say something? Okay. That brings up a thought of mine, though, like, if you're free enough to speak out against censorship, is there really censorship? Anyway, 1654, French mathematician, scientist, and religious philosopher Blaise Pascal experienced an intense mystical vision that marked him for life. Yeah. I see we have been joined by the legendary Hunter Jace. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, homie. How are you guys?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Would you care to read a couple articles?
Yeah, no, that's fine. As long as it's not about anything really messed up, I'm not going to tell everybody about,
Okay, well, we just read from the website here. You can either easy ways just go to my stream here that I have here in Discord. I'm sharing my screen, or if you want to be a little bit more prepared, I do have the TDH channel in the Discord server under the shows category, and a TDH script, not the research, but the scripts. And there's 3 links. We are in the historical events, so it's like in lines here. But anyway, while you're getting yourself situated, I'm going to take this one here in 1834. Harold in Italy, symphonic work for orchestra and viola by Hector Berlioz, premiered at the Paris Conservatoire. What? Criterion Urhan, soloist, with Narcisse Girard conducting. Okay. Now look, that guy's hair is weird. Like it's a floppy doodle. That's strange. Anyway, would you care to take 1903 for Jace?
I will take 1903, Alex. It's like Jeopardy. Yeah, so am I watching this?
No,
just looks like you got two streams here.
Well, no, I just have my screen. Like, if in the Discord chat itself, just click on my share screen here.
I see that.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got you're sharing your screen, but I can also see you on your webcam.
Well, yeah, well that's my webcam. Like, no, like I'm having you read an article from a website here.
Yeah, let's do this. So is it
this one?
All right, so let's talk about some music history. So in 1903, Enrico Caruso makes his U.S. debut at the Metropolitan Opera House in New York in Verdi's Rigoletto.
Rigoletto.
Ricola.
Ricola. And
so
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we do. I was gonna say we do it 3x3. So like like I do 3 articles, you do 3 articles. Anybody else wants to read, they can do 3 articles if they want. So like that way, everybody gets as much airtime as I can give.
Oh, so this is on this day. Okay, I get it. I remember this. Yeah. So the first U.S. Olympic Games in 1904. What is that? Third summer?
I believe so.
The third summer modern Olympic Games close in St. Louis.
Ah. Nice.
That is in Missouri, folks.
Yes.
I'm sure there's also other St. Louis's.
Uh-huh.
What do we got going on here? All right, so historic event. 1921, U.S. President Warren G. Harding signs Willis Campbell Act anti-beer bill forbidding doctors from prescribing beer or liquor for medical purposes.
Yeah, this is during Prohibition.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to go back in time and punch him in the face.
Pretty sure that's a like executionable offense, but yeah, like.
Oh yeah, you should kill the president. That's bad.
Yeah, no, like, well, you're assaulting him, but still, like, you're assaulting.
But honestly, though, like if I saw the guy and I learned that beer and liquor used to be prescribed, but then again, though, if you think about it, so
bro, old medicine was nuts. Like, it used to be like, you have ghosts in your blood, do some cocaine. Like. Did
you hear about that whole radon fiasco? They started. So radon is a I don't know if it's highly radioactive, but it's a radioactive metal. And people started using it, and this must have been in the early 1900s.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about that one guy whose his lower jaw just fell off from his head?
I think it was a woman, but yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been a guy, too. It might have been more, but yeah.
It was a guy, yeah. They took it as some kind of, like, they believed some kind of medical thing, and it actually gave radiation poisoning and slowly killed people from the inside out.
Yeah, they were, dude, it was in, like, toothpaste. It was in all sorts of weird products. They thought it was some, like, magical, mystery, ailment cure, and it killed a lot of people.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know how we got there from beer, but so it looks like here this is actually, with prescribing beer or liquor for medicinal purposes. If it's during Prohibition, I'm assuming the doctors were, for a while legally allowed to prescribe it, even though it was illegal. That's crazy, thinking about what it is,
Well, speaking about prescribing things, like, and I know we're straying way off topic for too long here, but I just want to say, like, yesterday on the news show, one of the articles was, and I don't remember what country it is, I think it's England, but doctors are now prescribing patients within a certain set of parameters a prescription for the right to have heating.
I'm sorry, the right to have heating? Like heat?
Like air conditioning, like heating, like if,
oh wow,
yeah, like if they're too sick to knowingly make it through the winter, they are actually now being given doctor prescriptions for the right to have electricity to power a heater so they can stay warm. Wow, This is like some Orwellian stuff. Anyway, let's get back on track here. 1923, Cecil B. DeMille's first version of the Ten Commandments premiered in the U.S. He's a filmmaker and director, so it must have been a movie or something. A movie. And then 1923 as well, Germany's Gustav Stresemann's government fell to the SPD. SPD. Hold on, what is SPD? Special Police Department? I don't know. Hold on. SPD Germany. Oh, Social Democratic Party. That's not good. Yeah. That's paving the way for funny mustache man from Austria. But anyway, moving on up into 1926, Noel Cowards, This Was a Man, premiered in New York City. And I keep saying, like, what a name. Like, you call this guy a coward, he's like, oh, yeah, I am. It's like, no, I'm putting your fucking bravery into question. He's like, but it's my name. Like, I would have changed my name, personally. But anyway, Jace, back to you. We got some music here, fitting for you. You're a music man.
Indeed. So in 1936, legendary Delta Blues musician Robert Johnson's first recording session with producer Don Law at the Gunter Hotel in San Antonio, Texas.
Huh. It's cool. Ooh.
So in 1937, John Steinbeck's play of Mice and Men premiered in New York City. That is, wow, he looks strikingly similar to like an older, God, what's his name? Tom Hanks, a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. That's, huh. That is, wow. Yeah, let me get a bigger picture here for the audience to get a better look. Yeah, I can see some Tom Hanks in there. So
Yeah.
Maybe they are related somehow. That's, I gotta figure that. You know what? Hold on a second. Is John Steinbeck and Tom Hanks related? Jim Hanks. Okay, well, that's Jim Hanks. Okay, well, it's not. Well, it's, without any like massive digging, we're not really going to find an answer to that. So that's my challenge to the audience, to the viewers watching this. If you can figure out whether or not they're related, because I mean, like, you think about all the people in positions of power, all the people of influence and everything, from the days of yore to modern times. Like, there's a lot of, strange, like, connections. And all these people are in these positions, not because of what they know, but because of who they know. So, yeah. Anyway,
it's funny with this one here, too. So when I first popped in, you were like, would you like to read some stuff? And I was kind of like, as long as it's not, I was going to say, as long as it's not about Hitler, and I kind of hesitated, and then you said something, so this is ironic. It's funny. Historic event. In 1939, Nazi governor of Poland, named Hans Frank, began requiring Jewish Poles above the age of 11 years to wear a blue Star of David. Because Nazi people were fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Germany's cool.
Yeah.
I've never been. I had a German exchange student that was in my high school, and we actually we were in drama club, and we had a fucking monologue. Well, it's like the two of us or whatever that is. We're sitting at a table with this kind of like little setup, dining table setup, and the whole skit was about like passing the ketchup and this goofy thing about the ketchup. And man, I made it like 30 seconds in, maybe a minute into this friggin' performance in front of like half the fucking school. And I bombed, dude. I couldn't remember anything. We were just me and the dude were just kind of laughing. And we're like, well, we kind of fucked this up. Well, and it was not a huge deal. Everybody kind of laughed. And it wasn't like, I get made fun of too hard. But he was cool. So, I don't know. I guess Germany's all right, but fuck Hitler.
Dude, like... I'm thinking about, what I would have done in that situation if I forgot my lines, and I would just do something stupid like grab the ketchup bottle, smash it on the ground, yell "Juden!" and just fucking run like off the stage. Just weird, like.
I mean, literally at this point in my life, 20 years later, I would absolutely have. If it was me right now back then, I probably would have done something where I.
Something stupid.
The ketchup bottle on the floor myself. Yeah, I'd probably say something stupid like.
Yeah.
Probably scare some people, but I should probably try not to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to 1942, Chinese steward Poon Lim began 133 days adrift after British ship SS Ben Lomond torpedoed by German U-boat, and he was a sole survivor. Dang. That's wow. Look at that top-notch, raft he's riding on, bro. Like that's legit, like some video game concept right there,
That dude's got some boat making skills.
He does.
I mean, seriously, if you think about it, now? I'm sorry, I was half paid attention when you said he was a naval officer or something, right? Naval.
Yeah, Chinese steward Poon Lim. So it's a Chinese guy. The British ship.
Okay.
Okay, so he was a Chinese, but he was working with the British Navy, and he was on the British ship that was torpedoed by a German U-boat, and he was the only survivor of that of the British ship.
Crazy.
So dang. Well, that explains things. Like Chinese, they are an industrial people, and they know how to do things. So. Yeah, anyway, let's move on up here. More music history. 1944, Arnold Schoenberg's Ode to Napoleon premiered in New York City. Then we got a victory in battle here in 1944 as well. The U.S. 7th Army under General Alexander Patch conquered Strasbourg. Nice.
So when you do this, do you go back to like 1900 and work your way up? Is that like where do you start?
No, I start at the very beginning. So like, for example, today I started in the year 602. And then we just read the black ones, the highlighted ones, because like everything you see here, like that you're seeing me zoom, this is everything that happened on this date throughout all of recorded history as far as what this website is presenting to me. So like this is everything that happened on November 23rd throughout all of the years.
Yeah. Hey, man, sorry to like come in and got a jet. I was just I wanted to say hi. I actually have to get myself ready to go. I'm gonna go head over to my dad and stepmom's for like a almost Thanksgiving thing. But I'll be back later tonight. I'll hit you guys up.
All right, man. We'll be around.
Right.
You have a good one. Enjoy your folks. Give them a high five for me.
I will. Thank you. You too.
Yep. Moving on up to 1947, Washington Redskins quarterback Sammy Baugh passed for 6 touchdowns versus Chicago Cardinals, 45-21. We have 1959, a music premiere, Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick's musical Ferrolo about New York City Mayor Ferrolo LaGuardia, directed by George Abbott and starring Tom Bosley, opened at Broadhurst Theater in New York City, running for 796 performances and winning 3 Tony Awards. Well, that's cool. We got another historic event here in 1963. JFK's body lied in repose in the East Room of the White House. Yep, he was assassinated yesterday, back in 1963. And then 1963 as well, Lyndon B. Johnson proclaimed November 25th as a day of national mourning for JFK. Yep. Got another album release here in 1970. A&M and Island Records released British folk rock singer-songwriter Cat Stevens' 4th studio album, Tea for the Tillerman, featuring singles Wild World and Father and Son. Okay. Got some more music here. 1970, George Harrison released My Sweet Lord single in the U.S. 1977, revival of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's musical Jesus Christ Superstar opened at Longacre Theater in New York City, running for 96 performances. Another historic event here, 1981, President Ronald Reagan vetoed House Joint Resolution 357, which called for further appropriations for fiscal year 1982. Yeah, got to balance that budget, 1984, A Christmas Carol, directed by Clive Donner, starring George C. Scott, premiered in the UK. Nice. George C. Scott, great actor, and portrayed Patton very well. So, some sports history here. 1984, Boston College quarterback Doug Flutie passed a 472-yard, including game-ending 48-yard touchdown Hail Mary pass to in-game and beat Miami 47-45. That's close. Got some more sports here in 84 as well. Limited over international cricket debut for Wasim Akram for Pakistan versus New Zealand. And my dad's not here to say it, so I'll say this for him. Cricket. 1984 as well. Test cricket, more cricket. Debuts of Australians David Boone, age 23, and Bob Holland, age 38, versus WI. Wisconsin? I don't know if Wisconsin has a cricket team, but let's say. Moving on up into 1986, second WTA Tour Championship of the year. Change of tennis schedule. Martina Navratilova won 5th straight and 8th overall title with 7-6, 6-3, 6-4 win over Steffi Graf in New York City. 1987, German tennis star Steffi Graf claimed her first WTA. So 1 year later, here we go again. German tennis star Steffi Graf claimed her first WTA Tour Championship with a 4-6, 6-4, 6-0, and 6-4 win over Gabriela Sabatini of Argentina at Madison Square Garden in New York City. 1 year later, 1988, Wayne Gretzky scored his 600th National Hockey League goal. Nice. Why is he kind of looks a little bit like Tobey Maguire, from the original Spider-Man. Like, kind of has that vibe a little bit going on with his face. Speaking of people like who look like others, like that Tom Hanks guy earlier. We got some more sports history. 1989, the Bounty Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles defeated Dallas Cowboys 27-0 at Thanksgiving in an ill-tempered game, after which Cowboys coach Jimmy Johnson accused the Eagles coach Buddy Ryan of placing bounties on players. What? Like, bruh, I don't think people are putting bounties on your players, man. Like, look at this guy. He's in general fatigues. Like, he has a commander's jacket, military, camo going on, and I see, what does that say? USAF? U.S. Air Force? Was he in the Air Force? Jimmy Johnson. Like, blah, blah, blah. It's not saying anything here. No, but he's wearing, so that definitely says U.S. Air Force on his blouse right there. So, I don't know. Anyway, got a boxing title fight here in 1991. Evander Holyfield technically knocks out Burt Cooper in 7 for heavyweight boxing title. 1991 as well, Freddie Mercury, at the age of 45, confirmed he had AIDS the day before he died. Oh, well, now we know who we're talking about tomorrow in deaths. Damn, that's a big name, too. Album release here in 1993, Doggy Style, debut album by Snoop Doggity Dogg, was released. Billboard Album of the Year in 1994. Hell yeah. This guy, he's a big guy. He's like 6'4" or something. He's tall. Very lanky. And, yeah, he has some stoner peepers. So, and we got some sports history here in 1997. Czech tennis number 1 Jana Novotná won the WTA Tour Championship at Madison Square Garden, New York City, defeating Mary Pierce of France 7-6, 6-2, 6-3. Got another album released here in 1999. Jessica Simpson released her debut studio album, Sweet Kisses. In 2003, Federation Cup Women's Tennis in Moscow, Russia. Amelie Marsumo defeated U.S. Meghan Shaughnessy 6-2, 6-1 to give France an unassailable 3-0 lead, ends at 4-1, and their second title. Got an election of interest here in 2003. Georgian President Eduard Shevardnadze resigned following weeks of mass protests over flawed elections. That's very relatable in today's world. 2003 as well, President's Cup Golf, Frankfurt Hotel and Country Club, U.S. and international team tie 17-17 after 3 tie playoff holes between Tiger Woods and Ernie Els. Captains and players decide cup to be shared. Yep. 2008, 36 American Music Awards, Rihanna and Chris Brown won. Isn't Chris Brown the guy who likes to give golden showers, or is that somebody else? I don't know my celebrities, apparently. I think it's somebody else. I don't know. Maybe Chris Brown has beat somebody? I don't know.
You're thinking of R. Kelly.
Okay, yes I am. Okay, yeah, I figured.
I thought it was Usher.
Usher. Okay. Wow, okay, I don't know anybody. Fuck.
Chris Brown was one that beat Rihanna.
Okay. Yeah, well, they had to usher him out of that. Anyway, moving on up into 2013, Manny Pacquiao, I don't know why there's a massive space there, defeated U.S. Brandon Riles to win the WBO welterweight title. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, like, he may be little, but he will wreck you. That guy. So, 2014, 42nd American Music Awards, One Direction, Sam Smith, and Katy Perry won. Alright. Then we had some more sports history here. In 2014, British Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton won season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina circuit to clinch his second F1 World Drivers' Championship, 67 points ahead of teammate Nico Rosberg. 2014 as well, Magnus Carlsen defended his World Chess Championship title after defeating Vishy Anand. All right. 2014, Republicans condemned U.S. President Obama's use of executive powers to force through immigration reform. Yes. Yeah. All the stuff that our current leader is doing the stage was set thanks to this guy. Anyway, we got some sports history here. 2015, Lydia Ko, at the age of 18, of New Zealand, won Women's LPGA Player of the Year and retained the race to the CME Globe, the title worth $1 million. Nice. Another historic event here. 365 days later, in 2015, President Yahya Jammeh of Gambia banned katana, the Islamic ritual practice of genital mutilation of young girls. Good. And he's a dictator and president of Gambia, but I guess he's a good dictator, if there can be such a thing. At least he did something right with this. So, anyway, moving on up to 2018, Phil Mickelson claimed a $9 million winner takes all prize in dramatic match play golf duel with Tiger Woods. Finishing under floodlights in Las Vegas, the match went to 22nd hole before Mickelson sank a 4-foot putt for rich victory. Dang. Some of these games can get really close. I was just talking about this asshole. 2020, U.S. President-elect Joe Biden introduced his new cabinet, including Alejandro Mayorkas, first Latino head of Homeland Security, Avril Haines, first female director of National Intelligence. And neither of them are doing any shadow of a good job. So, then moving on up into 2021, on this date last year, manuscript of early workings of Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, quote, one of the most important scientific documents of the 20th century, end quote, sold at an auction for $13 million. Wow. Just wow. And then we have 2021 as well. NASA launched its DART mission to test technology to prevent future impact on Earth by hazardous asteroid by deliberately crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid in a real-life echo of the movie Armageddon. Yeah, I remember when that happened. That was nuts. Anyway, before we move on into births and deaths, anybody in the live studio audience, any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Okay, I guess not. People watching, live or after the broadcast, anything that grabbed your attention more than most, anything that you wished we had spent more time elaborating on, anything that you would like to add to it, open up a dialogue in the comments section. Moving on up into birth, starting us off in the year 912, Otto I, the great German king, Holy Roman Emperor, from 962 to 673, died in 73, I presume in office. And then we have Theodore Dwight Weld, in 1803, was an American abolitionist and writer, American Slavery as It Is, Testimony of 1,000 Witnesses. I've heard about that. Born in Hampton, Connecticut, died in 1895. So at least he got to see the end of the Civil War. So, we got Franklin Pierce, 1804, 14th President of the United States. I didn't even know that. The Democrat from 1853 through 57, born in Hillsborough, New Hampshire, died in 1869. Then we have Johannes van der Waals, 1837, Dutch physicist, Nobel of 1910, liquid and gas states, born in Leiden, Netherlands, dying in 1923. We have Billy the Kid, 1859, a American frontier outlaw and gunfighter of the Wild West, born in New York City, New York. What? I didn't know somebody out of New York could be so badass and awesome as Billy the Kid, but hey, surprises are everywhere. Anyway, he died in the year 1881, I believe, through some kind of execution or something. Gunshot wounds. So yeah, there we go. Then we have Boris Karloff, 1887, an English author, The Mummy and Frankenstein, born in Camberwell, London, dying in 1969. Now, he's an actor. Sorry, not an author, an actor. Okay, so he acted in The Mummy and Frankenstein. I was going to say, the Frankenstein was written by a woman. Mary Shelley, I believe. Alexander Patch, 1889, in a U.S. World War II general, Guadalcanal campaign and Operation Dragoon, born in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, dying in 1945, I presume in battle. No, pneumonia. So, anyway, moving on up to 1934, we have Lou Hode. An Australian tennis player, Wimbledon 1956 and 57. Australian Championships 1956, French Championships 1956 as well. Born in Sydney, New South Wales, mate. Died 1994. Then we have, come on, give me something. There we go. Nicolas Maduro, 1962, a Venezuelan politician, president of Venezuela from 2013 through present. Born in Caracas, Venezuela. All right. Then we have, why is everything so far apart from each other? Miley Cyrus, 1992, a U.S. actress and singer, Hannah Montana and The Climb, born in Franklin, Tennessee. Huh. Well, that's strange. I was born in Tennessee as well. So, Anyway, then moving on into death, starting us off in the year 615, we have Columbanus, an Irish monastery founder, poet, and saint, Poentintale, and dies. Just randomly, just dead. Okay. Then we have, let's see here, okay, here we go. 1976, that's one hell of a time jump. We have André Malraux, was a French novelist and art historian, La Condition Humaine, died at the age of 75 in the year 1976. Then we have Roald Dahl, 1990, a British author, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the Big FG, the Big Friendly Giant, not the big fucking gun. Died at the age of 74 in the year 1990 on this date. He was born in 1916. All right. So yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the BFG, really, really good stories. And then we have Larry Hagman, 2012, a U.S. actor, I Dream of Jeannie, and J.R. Dallas. I remember that show, Dream of Jeannie. Died of complications from throat cancer at 81. Well, I guess he used too many of his wishes. That's unfortunate. And then we'll have 2021 here. Bill Verdun, a U.S. baseball outfielder, manager, and coach. National League Rookie of the Year 1955, World Series 1960, Gold Glove 1962. Died at the age of 90. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Please go check out our Rumble and BitChute. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, or 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 Eastern. And if you live in any other time zones, go to Google, do your own calculations. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and in the live studio audience, once again, we have Zanny, we have Loli, Jace was here for a bit, Will was here for a bit. Yeah. Anyway, until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in news, we have a news show coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific Time in a few hours here. Whenever, until you see us again, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles!